This is example 2 of lesson 4.4, quadrilaterals on the coordinate plane. Talking about our friend Jeannie. She went on a bike ride around town, which was mapped onto a grid where each unit represented 1 meter in real life. She started at home, which was located at 400, 1500. She biked to the library at 400, 100. Then she went to her friend's house at 1600, 100. How far did she bike at all? So we're trying to figure out the distance between points here. That's our goal. We want to find how far between each point we have. Luckily for us, she went on a fairly rectangular route. She went in a straight line, and then she turned and went in another straight line. How do we know this? Well, let's work through it. So she started at home, which is 400, 100, and I've got that here as a point. 400, 100. She started here. Let's say she started right here. Now, my coordinate grid that I'm using on here isn't going to work very well, simply because it only goes up to 14. And, well, it's not going to be much good in the 400 range, is it? So we're just going to imagine. Now, all right, so she started at 400, 1500. Sorry, that's the wrong one. She started at 400, 1500. That's also the wrong one. My goodness. Grab the right thing, please. Thank you. She started at 400, 1500. That's her home. I'm going to mark that as H. All right, so she started here. Then she went to the library, which is at 400, 100. L. We'll mark that. Now, what do you notice about the coordinates for home and the coordinates for the library? Especially if I label them, put them underneath each other like this. If you said that the x-coordinate is the same, you'd be right. So if the x-coordinate is the same, we know that these points are directly on top of each other. Just like if, for example, let me move that over a little bit. If I have a point here at 2, 1, 2, 1, and then another point at here at 2, what's that, 2, 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. At 2, 5, you can tell they're exactly on top of each other, and their x-coordinate is both 2. Both of them have the x-coordinate of 2. They're right on top of each other. So we know that these 2 points are right on top of each other. And just like these 2 points are right on top of each other, we can find the distance between these 2 points by looking at the quadrant that's not the same, the y-coordinate. We can look at the y-coordinate to determine how far apart these 2 points are. So, from home to the library, we go from 1500 to 100. So let's find out how far apart these are. 1500 minus 100 equals 1400. Okay, so that's a good start. We know that these 2 points are 1400 apart. So she's traveled 1400 meters so far. Now she goes to the library, to a friend's house, and we'll label that F, which is at 1600, 100. Now, look at these 2 points, from the library to her friend's house. What do you notice about these 2 points? If you said that the y-coordinate is the same, you are also correct. The y-coordinate is the same, which means, just like if I had a point here on my coordinate graph, my y-coordinate is the same. It's both 1 in both 2, 1 and 6, 1. My y-coordinate is the same, which means that they're the same level of x. They're the same level up from the x-axis, which means that I can put this point here. So she went from here down to here, over to here. So she's basically gone in a big L. So let's find out how far she went here. From library to friend's house, F-R-I-E-N-D, friends, okay? And again, just like we did on the previous one, we're going to subtract the 2 that are not the same. We're not going to subtract the hundreds because that's the same that'll get me 0. Yeah, she didn't go up and down any. She went side to side. So we're going to do 1600 minus 400, which equals 1200. And then our goal is to find out how far she went in total, right? So in order to do that, we need to add up the total differences. So she went 1400 from home to the library and 1200 from the library to her friends. So we're going to do 1,400 plus 1,200, which equals 2,600, and we're going to say meters, because that's what unit we are using. So she went a total of 2,600 meters on her bike trip.